Hello, guys. Today, the one and only Gleb Chernov is here from Platform Guru. I'm very happy to see you, mate. We already became good friends, starting the fact that we were actually ex-colleagues as well in one of the previous companies. And now we are maybe in a bit of a different sides of the business, but still keeping the professional connections. And Gleb even came recently to our office to visit us. So very happy to see you today.
Hi Arthur, it's really nice to see you. It's always nice to speaking with you guys. I'm more than happy to be here with you.
Yeah, but I heard that you're more than happy to be on the Canary Islands, right? Isn't it?
Yeah, that's true. Every year I'm taking my family for the trip. Let's put it that way.
You live the life, Liv. You live the life. But listen, how do you adjust your working schedule to this environment if you're changing the places all the time? How do you make sure you keep like disciplined in terms of your work, by the way?
Anyway, I'm doing what I should do. So in this case, I'm always online. I'm always helping. This year, I decided to make myself the Christmas holidays, like from around 22nd of December till beginning of the January. I will like turn off my phone and be quiet and outside of everything. Otherwise, I would say that I'm working for myself, basically. We have two businesses. One is Platform Guru, second is M&A business. And in both businesses, basically, everything depends on my activity. If I am not active, I'm not getting calls, I'm not getting something, I'm not getting new leads and so on. So here I just need to agree with myself that, okay, we are skipping this time, but we are investing this time into family, into spending quality time and so on. So here I'm just, okay, I'm not making million these 2 weeks, but we will make it later with more energy. More or less, yeah, because when you are out of energy, when you are not rested or well rested, let's say, you are not giving this energy to the people and you are not making millions. So sometimes it's much better to actively rest and then work even more active.
Completely agree with you. This is very important. And then in the end, like, listen, why do we work, right? We work obviously to enjoy the life. We don't live to work. And then again, there is a very famous Pareto rule as well, that 20% of efforts are bringing 80% of results. And I think like you're one of the guys that definitely know where to put all the effort to. And you mentioned regarding your businesses that, okay, now, so you have the M&A agency as well, and you have really for, I think, over maybe 2 years, correct me if I'm wrong, Platform Guru company. And with Platform Guru company, you're helping different operators, obviously, to start this business, to select the correct platform, to choose the correct jurisdictions for the operations, the strategy. In this regard, in the context of your business activity overall, how do you think, what is the number one mistake that operators usually make when they are choosing the platform? Because there are so many right now in the market, and this amount of platforms is growing all the time.
Yeah, I think there are few mistakes. I would say that one is choosing price over quality, because there are a lot of people who are walking around and saying, okay, everyone is making the same platforms, I will just choose the cheapest one and everything will move forward. No, it's not. Technically, all the solutions are completely different. I would say also choosing speed instead of scalability and the possibility to grow together with the platform provider you have. This is also a pretty big thing that you should think about, because now when you are starting, you're like, okay, we are happy, we are starting, blah, blah, blah. But you always need to think like 2-3 steps ahead, what you will do, how you will scale, and if this is the right platform for you. Because if they have like 3 people in the office, it's a no-go, because definitely it's a wrong choice. You need to have a good backup from your platform. They should have a good background and good history. So I believe these are the main ones.
You mentioned that one of the most important things are speed and scalability of the platform. And at the same time, you mentioned that like the size of the company, their history is important. Would you agree with my thesis that sometimes it's very hard to find this balance? Because obviously, if we look into tier 1 platform providers, they have the legacy, they have a big name, brand awareness, they have a good success track record behind them. But at the same time, I feel, and probably this is a common concept, they definitely have bottlenecks in terms of delivery, in terms of their tech. Sometimes the tech is very outdated. They're full of integration queues because they have hundreds of operators. So in your perspective, how should operator approach this question? How to find the right balance between obviously feeling secure and safe, choosing really reliable platform, and usually with a big name and a good brand in the industry, At the same time, not sacrificing the speed and scalability, as you mentioned.
I'm not trying, to sell my services during the conversation like ours, but I would say that there everything is coming out of practice. So basically, you need to know someone who operated on platform A or platform B. And in case of our industry, it's really hard to get this information. Here is where my services are normally needed because I'm speaking with a lot of people, I'm speaking with everyone, I'm trying to understand if they're happy or not, and so on. So basically, there is no one recipe how you can do it yourself. Okay, maybe you can try to get to some of the exhibitions, try to find some people who are working on some platforms and get their feeling, their opinion, and so on. Because otherwise, it's really hard. Because every sales guy in the platform business, I believe they are working with the same scripts because everyone's saying is that their platform is the best one. If you need something, we can do it in 3 days. If you need something urgently, our team will do it in 1 hour, and then the harsh reality is there. In this case, it's only the matter of getting good information from someone, getting some opinions, and receiving this information.
Interesting you mentioned about this generalized, tricky sales approach where everyone is promising everything. You are a consultant, obviously, you're helping so many operators to choose the platform. And I may suppose you are also participating in those calls and those discussions and meetings, right? Like without mentioning the company, but do you have any kind of good examples where actually the sales managers did outstanding job and you were surprised in a good way, good fashion? It was not a cliche as you just described, or like, okay, and we have a trust already, the client has a trust.
First of all, I would say that our calls are a bit different than the other calls because I am bringing kind of warm lead to the company saying them, okay, no bullshit bingo, guys, just let's do it in a professional way. So I like this kind of approach, and we rarely have these kind of conversations. On my point, if I'm meeting the new platform, I'm saying them also, okay, guys, I already saw like 100 back offices. Don't tell me anything about dashboards you have and how nice they are and how pretty looking graphs you have here. I'm not a big professional here, but for example, there is one company. If you are saying that I shouldn't name them, I will not. But for example, there was a sales lady. She was super professional. She was asking right questions. She was speaking about numbers. She was speaking about conversions. She was speaking about how their front end converts on different markets with some statistics, with some charts, with some information prepared for customer because she knew where they want to target and what they want to target. This was pretty awesome. Their platform, I believe, is not as good as she is, but anyway, I would say that she's super professional, super good, and sometimes we have these conversations. But again, if this is an initial call with cold leads, it's always the same, I believe. We are the best, we are the coolest, come to us.
Yeah. Listen, but okay, like you mentioned, you had a very good impression with this lady. She was very professional. But let's say the tech is not there. The product is not that good, but the company itself, people, the sales manager service is outstanding. And they have, let's say, eagerness to grow together with the customer. They have resources to improve, obviously. Would you suggest such a platform then to the customer? Maybe even though at this moment it's a bit raw and doesn't meet certain standards.
Yes, sure. If the platform will meet the customer's expectations. I'm always starting with a short interview, not short to be honest, 1.5 to 2 hours we normally spend together to understand all the nuances of how they want to operate. After I get all this information, I understand, okay, they don't need super duper mega cool platform, for example. They are just not ready for it, or they are not too big yet. They don't have team. It will be too complicated for them. So they need something still advanced, but a little bit more, let's say, simple from the point of view of operations, daily things, and so on. I would say that there is a really the need for all the features that are there on the market and in the world. Yeah. So normally they need this, and this. I understand, okay, this, and these platforms have this. They met the financial expectations of the customer. They met the, let's say, agileness expectation of the customer, because some of the customers are saying, okay, we need fast, we need platform to be responsive, and so on. So in this case, I understand, okay, this is a good match. Maybe they are not technically perfect, but I understand that, for example, this lady, she will answer them during nights, in the mornings, while she's sleeping, and so on and so on.
You mentioned about the clients, obviously, about their demands and requests that sometimes, and actually not sometimes, we know how often it happens in B2B business. Clients are coming and saying that, listen, guys, the deadline is tomorrow. I have a budget of $5,000. Let's go, make me a casino project. Based on your observation, how do you think, is this trend diminishing? Do we see finally a more professional approach from the operators when they're looking for the platform, or still we have the same traits that nothing is changing and the industry mindset is not maturing enough?
I think that for sure operators are becoming more and more professional. That's 100%. And the average request is becoming better and better. That's what I can see from my practice. But still, there will be, as you mentioned, Pareto rule already, there will be always 20% of cosmic guys with the same $5,000 budget and so on. But there are also solutions for them on the market. So if they want everything tomorrow and they want to build Take.com from $5,000 budget, I'm just normally saying them, okay, guys, go buy Bitcoin and forget about casino business. I'm not trying to push them whatever is there. But even with a low budget, there are some solutions. If they feel that they want to try this business, they don't want to spend too much on the first steps, okay, no problem. There are some platforms which gives you even less possibilities to do something. But still, you can feel the business, you can try with them, you can understand how it works for you. And in this case, you will not spend a lot of money. But answering your question, definitely everyone became more professional. There are a lot more information on the internet that you can pre-read, pre-watch to understand a bit on how the industry is working now.
Love it, love it. What's your take on white label right now? Obviously, white label model exists for many years already in the market. How do you think, what is the trend in terms of the white label for the viewers that maybe are completely new to the industry, starting their business in iGaming, doing the first baby steps? Maybe you could explain why you would offer them an advice to go with white label solution if they are just a startup.
There are two explanations of the white label on the market, which I see pretty often. And here I need to divide them into pieces. So there is one white label, which is, I would say, legal understanding of a white label, that you own the rights to operate under the platform and to use license holder or the platform provider in this case. And the second meaning of a white label on the market is that basically the platform, it's still the same in legal way, but also the fact that platform do everything for you, a part of acquisition. So basically they offer you like full package, you only need to bring players and that's all. The fact is that first one, I hate first one. I'll be honest with you, it's nothing personal. I just understand that you cannot sell it afterwards. Even if you worked for 2-3 years, got some players. Okay, if you got really lucky and went to 1 million GGR during that time, and anyway, you cannot sell it in any way. But if you are sub-licensed, you don't know nothing except of the contract with the platform provider that providing you these services. So in this case, I always say that Turnkey is much better option, even it's a bit more expensive, but at least you have something to sell afterwards if something will go wrong. But if everything will be right, you will have much more freedom if you are growing with the Turnkey than with the white label. Because in white label model, you at one point of time, in 1, 2, 3 years, you definitely will need to move to your own license, even maybe your own platform, but at least to the Turnkey. If we are speaking about like they are doing everything for you, you are just expecting them to get players, it's more or less okay to try, but in this case, don't put too much efforts and too much budget in this, and have a clear path how you will move to the turnkey solution with your platform provider. Because if it's white label only, I'm not sure that it's a good way to go. Again, from M&A perspective, it's a no-go. You cannot sell it afterwards. You should be super really lucky to sell it to someone. You still are not secured anyhow, because all the white label contracts, there are black bold information in the agreement that you own nothing. You should pay us and we can terminate our contract at any moment of time, which is basically, if it's not slavery, then what it is. So yeah, so basically it's a long answer for the short question, but yeah, I believe white label is not the best model, only if you want to try, if you want to feel the business and want to play a bit with it.
Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you. And I think we can see this as a practice in the industry. Many platform providers actually are canceling their white label offerings in many markets or in general, because it brings a lot of risk to the company as well. And obviously, from the client's perspective, this is not that interesting. It could be only a cash flow. But again, if you're a white label, you're among hundreds of operators. It's very hard to succeed and to stand out because you have, again, the bottlenecks, the integration queues, and whatnot. You mentioned right now in your answer as well the fact that you own nothing in the contract. Can you be more specific? Like, obviously, you don't own the platform, right? You don't own the license, but what is left? What is left with the operator? And in case if you said if he gets lucky and he'll be able to make this M&A deal somehow with some kind of Christmas voodoo magic, what actually he would sell, what the other customer would pay for this brand, what is valuable?
I would say that in case of a white label, it's only the list of players or player database that you own. We know maybe the new guys don't know it, but still, if you have the player database, it's really hard to evaluate what is the price of these players, because okay, some of them are still active, some of them are not, some of them are just cheaters or bonus hunters who came to the platform. You will have only a couple of players there who are bringing money constantly to your platform. So that's it. Some of them are saying, okay, we have really nice customized front end. But again, yeah, you spend money on it, but do you own it? No. Do you have some rights to use it? No, normally no. So it's a bit tricky. If the database is big enough, okay, you can sell it, but technically, legally, you more or less own nothing.
Right. Then there is a lot of also technical problems. If you buy the white label, it depends how you need to arrange again everything with the platform provider. I've seen in practice many issues with regards to this, and then the customers are stuck. So basically, then the only solution that they found was just to extract the database from the platform, make a new one, or inject it in the other brand. So you mentioned white label, then you mentioned right now in your speech as well, owning a platform. So obviously there's a source code solution as well. If you would compare even those all three options, white label, turnkey, and source code, what actually is the best option in years to come in 2026?
Are we speaking about the newcomers or are we speaking about experienced industry players?
Let's go maybe step back and look into profile of the newcomers again, because we discussed a bit the white label, but still maybe to bring more transparency to the audience, what is better for the startups, and then to more experienced operators.
The easiest one is experienced operators. There, I'm 100% sure that the source coded solution is the one. And it's not, I believe, only my opinion, but we see on the market that more or less all the serious B2C brands owning their own platform, their own technical solution. And if they have some brands under some platform providers, it's more or less because they bought them or it's some kind of legacy and they still have a plan to move it to their own platform because it gives you a lot of savings. That's number one. If we are speaking about the newcomers, then we could here split on 3 or 2 parts. So basically, I would say that white labeling is an option if you have a budget of, I don't know, 100, 200, 300K for half a year. You want to try, you want to check, you want to see, you want to understand how this business works. And taking in consideration this knowledge, you will start your own serious brand. That's number one. Theoretically, it's a good way because me personally, I'm the one who is first trying and then going seriously somewhere. But at the same moment, there is one risk. This industry is changing so fast. The information that you got during this half year of test operations and hypothesis and so on, in maybe half a year, this information won't be relevant anymore because, again, I don't know, Google made some new updates, Microsoft made some changes, Facebook agreed with US government and stopped all the ads for iGaming, and here we are again without any information. So it's much better to start seriously with serious team from the day one. And if you are starting serious, it's only about your technical understanding and about the understanding or belief in your platform provider. So Turnkey is a good option if you are starting seriously, but at the same time, you must understand that you will pay less in the beginning, more later. because as far as I know, source coded platform is something around 20k euro per month, more or less. If you have GGR of 1 million, 5% of this you're paying to the turnkey platform provider, it's like 50k you're paying already when you have 1 million. But in case of your own platform, you're paying 20k, which is way less than this. So in this case, you must clearly understand your marketing plan for your business. And if you see that you have enough money in half a year already start making 1 million GGR plus, in this case, maybe it's worth to think about having the source coded platform from the day one. But here is one more small issue that I think still is on the market. To write your own platform takes like 1 month, and one guy who will sit somewhere in Asian countries and do it for you. No, much better. If you understand technically how to do it, you will never say that it will take 1 month, it will take a year or plus, or you should have a good platform provider which is offering source codes. Not many of them, but still speak with Arthur, he knows some for sure. In this case, yeah, if you see according to your marketing budget or your business plan that, for example, you start with 5-6 million budget for this business, it's a really good serious budget, then go for source coded solution. It will make you a huge economy later. If you're starting with, for example, 1 million, then maybe Turnkey is better because you can't fly high so fast.
I like your answer a lot, and thank you also for specifying the numbers, the tiers as well. You mentioned budget. Obviously, there are different spendings that the casino operators have, right? In your opinion, what will kill more businesses next year? Tech debt or unrealistic marketing expenses?
I think the second one. There are a lot of unrealistic expectations from marketing perspective. Market is pretty much saturated. There are a lot of players coming every day. You should be very cautious with what numbers you are putting, let's say, expectation of return of investment from what you are planning to invest in your casino. Because normally numbers on FTD player acquisition are much higher than you think in the beginning.
Yeah, I was speaking the other day with the very, very successful operator. They have a bunch of the brands, and they mentioned to me that these days, obviously, revenue share doesn't work anymore. It's only about the CPA, hybrid deals, and PPC. And in case of CPA, obviously, you need to have already a good budget as well. How do you think, by the way, is there any kind of importance of the platform in regards to marketing, or marketing performance is like a standalone, and actually the tech that you have is not so vital here?
No, I believe that these two things are super connected. The first thing that comes to my mind for sure, that, for example, the front end. It's really vital to have the right front end for the right market. That's for sure. People are used to something, people like something, and they want to use this or that button. They are used to this or that design. They are used to some things, and front end should be customizable, and front end should be good for particular markets. That's number one. Number two, for example, it's solved on some platforms, but some platforms are still not doing this in the right way. For example, the same payment cascading. Yes, so to get the player, you need the seamless experience for him. He just come, he registrate, he put all the needed fields, not too much of them. He pays, he plays. That's all. As soon as you start, for example, with a long registration process, then he need to pay to choose one of 11 options of Visa, MasterCard that you have on your web page. Which one is right, which one is wrong? You clicked on one, it doesn't work, and then you click on second, it worked but doesn't process your payment, and then you just say, okay, fuck it, I don't want this casino anymore. And then when he paid, he's waiting for his money for 2 minutes because he has some badly made integrations. And then when he starts playing, he goes to the guts of guys and accounts, and he click on it, and it doesn't work because you don't have, I don't know, game parsing, and you're not checking if all the games are working on your web page. And that kills marketing, that kills your budget, that kills everything. So I think these two are super tightly connected.
Right. So obviously the purpose of the marketing is to pay attention on the brand, to bring someone, catch the interest. But then again, if the tech is executed poorly, the first impression will be very sad as well. Then definitely this traffic is not converting and you're just flushing money in the toilet, basically.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
We talked about marketing expectations a bit, that they are sometimes very unrealistic as well as the expenditures. What about the general myths? Besides of marketing, let's forget about marketing. Overall, in general, what other myths are existing still in 2025 in iGaming about the platform business and the platforms in general?
That's a good one. First of all, I already touched it a bit in the beginning of our conversation that, let's say, all platforms are the same. I will choose the cheapest one because they are just offering the same. But no, because to give the good quality of service, you need to have people, you need to have the right team, you need to have the right structure, the right standards, right things that are there on your business side as a platform provider. It all costs money, and then they need to make this money back from operators. And for sure, cheap will more or less every time will not be good. So yeah, in this case, I would say that this one is a big myth. There are still a lot of people thinking that the amount of game providers on the platform is something that really matters. But I would say that anyway, the Pareto is that basically 20% of the providers, which more or less every platform provider have, bringing you 80% of the revenue and the GGR. And then there are some specific providers that some people are just, okay, I will try this one. The picture seems interesting, yes. But I would say that no, if someone's saying we have 200 game providers and someone say we have 300 game providers, just need to check the main ones and that's it. Even with 50 game providers, but if you have like Evo, Pragmatic and a couple of others, you can succeed. Also, yeah, that's stress tests and questions about scalability is a big thing, and you need to understand that your platform is ready for your growth. In this case, everyone is saying, okay, you can patch scalability later, we can think about this later, we are still starting. But no, if you have big plans, align your platform to your big plans, otherwise it will be an issue. And of course, there are a lot of rumors and things about AI, and my CFO will be AI, my CMO will be AI, and my players will speak with AI as a customer care. No, so far we are not there yet. We all use ChatGPT, and thanks God for ChatGPT, but still AI technologies are not there.
Fingers crossed, we still have work and business to do.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Otherwise, ChatGPT or AI agent will come to Tenerife next year, not me. So,
but actually, in terms of AI, off topic, but like a lot of top 500 companies in US and the Silicon Valley are talking about AI and saying that we have a very, very bright future in the way that AI will be AGI. When we're going to come to AGI, we'll be able to replicate, copy paste everything on a very low cost. And that would mean that the prices will go down a lot and the purchasing power of people will increase. A lot of people will have no necessity actually to do job. We will have the basic income as well among people. That would be like not the industry, actually, the general standard in the government. On the other hand, though, recently I was watching a podcast of CEO Diary. Maybe you know this one. And there was one guy about AI. He's a super professional, I think, working also somewhere in the AI community, Meta or something. And he told actually that, guys, listen, there are so many things that people are not saying to you openly. Right now, there is a race for AI. And everyone is investing so much money just because people do understand that who has the AGI first gets the control over the world, and then nobody knows in which direction we're going to go. Nobody knows. In this context, Gleb, one of the last questions, let's focus on our industry a bit. How do you think the implementation of AI in a casino, first of all, how you see it? And secondly, is it a good or is it a bad thing for the industry?
I'm not a big adept of AI, and I'm not a big fan of it, because still what we have so far, of course, it's the engine that can work with a huge amount of information and can give the answers. But For me, still, you remember there was, I believe we had more or less same childhood with you, and there was like at that time, especially now, China is one of the top of the world. But at that time, when you get some toy and it says made in China, you should be ready that it will either broke in like 5 minutes or there will something happen, and you are always ready that quality is lower than you are expecting. And so far, from all the AI tools, I am getting a bit lower quality than I am expecting to get from the real person. And I believe we will still, for a couple of years, we will still live in this, not made in China, but made by AI world, when you see and understand like LinkedIn posting is made by AI without soul thing, or text is made by AI without some specific things. It helps, but still it needs a lot of people attention. So if we are using the same model for even on platform provider level, there are some interesting implementations done by AI, which are not changing or not making the human unneeded there, but it helps to save time for everyone. And that's cool. And also the possibility to analyze a lot of data, analyze a lot of information on player behavior will give him the better feeling of your platform if you are analyzing this data and making your casino a bit different for each player. This gives some interesting results, and also it will be better for the casino because retention rates will be much better and LTV will be much higher. So these are the good things. But again, I see that a lot of casinos are now trying to implement AI chatbots. So far, all I've seen doesn't work really, because there are no casino players that are asking like prompt questions like, I'm sorry, I have deposited in your casino $15.21 on 3rd of December 2022. No, they're writing you, fuck, where are my money? Give me my money back. And that's what AI cannot really normally understand.
So far.
One
AI
day
is
we will
self-learning.
come.
I think it takes only like maybe a couple of weeks for AI to speak with the casino.
Yeah. And here we should have this music from Terminator, da 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 da. Yeah, one day we will all die from AI. But anyway, yes, so far the technologies are not there. Everyone is trying. I see that there are some results already, and it helps, but so far it only helps people, not exchanging them and not replicating them in any way. So that will be my, again, long answer to the short question.
So basically optimizing a bit the operations, but still the human touch is very important. And in this regard, in this context, I would like to ask you as well, taking into consideration that some progressive tools like AI as well, there in operations can actually optimize a bit the workflow and the people, the team as well. In your perspective, what is the most important in terms of budgeting? If you need to choose one thing, tech, investing in tech, is it traffic or is it people? You could also answer this question if you're a casino operator and maybe even a platform provider perspective as well. Up to you.
I really trust in people, that the right team, the right people can make you much better and can help you grow, can help you lead the business the right way. I think it always worth to invest in the right people. It's people using AI, finding the right marketing tools. It's people who can either drown you or help you to fly. So I think especially now there are a lot of possibilities, and that's people who are becoming a bit like more like cyborgs, they have ChatGPT, they have this AI tool, and investing in the right people who know how to use this tool the right way is the way to go now. That's my opinion.
Love it. Now this time was a short answer for the short question.
I'm trying. I'm as AI. I'm learning.
Thank you, Gleb, so much. I don't have any more questions for you. It was a very insightful conversation. Always happy to talk to you, mate. Whenever you come, first of all, remember that you have a present in our Riga office. That's one. I hope also to catch up with you probably. Next would be, I guess, ICE Barcelona, right?
Yeah, Barcelona. Looking forward to see you there also. I'm just always wondering, do you have some graphic when you play the table tennis? Because there are always guys playing behind you. or it's just...
Yeah, it's actually generated by AI, Sora. And this is AI avatar as well. No, the funny thing is, even yesterday I had another kind of an interview and the same thing was happening in the background. And the guys were thinking that I just have a call. I'm not recording. But then we decided that, listen, it's good, like you see live environment. the office life is buzzing, everything is happening. Unfortunately, nobody is working. Everyone is just playing ping pong. But at least something interesting. So if people, I hope not, will be bored by our conversation, they can at least watch the table tennis match on the back.
Okay, at least they will see what mistakes they're making. So
Right.
it's always good.
Thank you, Gleb, so much. Take care, mate. See you soon.
Okay, Arthur. Thank you very much. See you
Take
around.
care.
Bye bye.
Bye bye. Bye bye.